Graham was born on October 24, 1986, in Toronto, Canada, a city that would play a significant role in shaping his identity and his music. Growing up in the multicultural metropolis, Drake was exposed to a variety of cultures, sounds, and experiences that would later influence his eclectic musical style. But before he was known to the world simply as Drake, he was just Aubrey, a kid navigating the challenges of a mixed-race upbringing in a city known for its diversity. Drake's parents, Dennis Graham and Sandy Scher, came from two very different worlds. His father, a musician from Memphis, Tennessee, was an African-American man deeply rooted in the world of music, playing drums for legendary artists like Jerry Lee Lewis. His mother, a Jewish Canadian, worked as an educator and florist, providing a stable yet modest environment for Drake. The contrast between his parents' backgrounds introduced Drake to the complexities of identity from a young age. He often spoke about how growing up as a biracial child in a predominantly white Jewish neighborhood made him feel like an outsider, never quite fitting in with one group or the other. When Drake was just 5 years old, his parents divorced, and he stayed with his mother in Toronto while his father returned to Memphis. The separation from his father was a pivotal moment in young Aubrey's life, as he would often grapple with the absence of a paternal figure during his formative years. Although his father remained a presence in his life, the physical distance and the emotional toll of the separation were undeniable. These experiences would later seep into his music, where themes of loneliness, identity, and the search for belonging became recurring motifs. Living with his mother, Drake's upbringing was far from glamorous. They lived in a small apartment in the Forest Hill neighborhood, a middle-class area where Drake often felt the pressure of financial limitations. His mother worked tirelessly to make ends meet, and Drake often described their situation as not poor, but definitely not rich. Despite these challenges, his mother was his biggest supporter, instilling in him the values of hard work and perseverance. She also nurtured his creative side, encouraging him to explore his talents in the arts, whether through music or acting. Drake's journey into the world of entertainment began somewhat unexpectedly when he was introduced to an acting agent by a high school friend's father. At just 15 years old, Drake auditioned for and landed a role on the popular Canadian teen drama Degrassi: The Next Generation. The show, a reboot of the 1980s series Degrassi Junior High, focused on the lives of a group of teenagers as they navigated the trials and tribulations of adolescence. Drake played the role of Jimmy Brooks, a popular basketball player who becomes paralyzed from the waist down after a school shooting. The character of Jimmy was one of the show's most beloved, and Drake's portrayal earned him critical acclaim as well as a loyal fan base. For Drake, Degrassi was more than just an acting gig. It was a lifeline. The steady income from the show helped support his family, and the visibility it provided opened doors in the entertainment industry. However, Drake always knew that his true passion lay in music. Even while he was acting, he spent his free time writing songs and honing his craft, dreaming of a career in hip-hop. Despite his success on Degrassi, Drake felt a growing desire to transition from acting to music, a decision that would soon change the course of his life. As he balanced school, acting, and his burgeoning music aspirations, Drake faced the challenges of being a young black man in a predominantly white space. His experiences on Degrassi provided him with a platform, but it also put him in a unique position. He was a black actor on a predominantly white Canadian TV show, and he often felt the pressure of representing his race in a way that was palatable to mainstream audiences. This duality of identity, of being between two worlds, would later become a defining characteristic of his music. Drake's time on Degrassi wasn't without its difficulties. The show's producers were initially hesitant to allow him to pursue music, fearing it would detract from his role on the show. But Drake's passion for music was undeniable, and he eventually made the difficult decision to leave the show to focus on his music career full-time. It was a risky move, leaving behind a steady job for the uncertainty of the music industry, but it was a gamble that would ultimately pay off. By the time Drake left Degrassi, he had already begun to make a name for himself in Toronto's underground hip-hop scene. He released his first mixtape, Room for Improvement, in 2006, followed by Comeback Season in 2007. These early projects showcased his unique blend of introspective lyrics and smooth melodic flows, and they began to garner attention both locally and beyond. But it wasn't until the release of his third mixtape, So Far Gone, in 2009, that Drake's music career truly took off, setting the stage for his rise to superstardom. Leaving the security of Degrassi the Next Generation was a bold and risky move for Drake. He had established himself as a popular actor with a steady income and a solid fan base, but the pull of music was too strong to ignore. Music had always been Drake's true passion, a way to express the thoughts and emotions that had been building up inside him. He knew that to make a real impact, he had to pour everything he had into his craft. In 2006, Drake released his first mixtape, Room for Improvement. It was a modest beginning, a collection of tracks that showcased his potential but were still rough around the edges. The project was self-released, and Drake handled much of the distribution himself, selling copies directly to fans and using the internet to spread the word. The mixtape featured guest appearances from local artists and producers, and it was clear that Drake was starting to find his voice as an artist. While Room for Improvement didn't make a huge splash in the mainstream, it marked the beginning of Drake's journey as a serious musician. Undeterred by the modest reception of his first mixtape, Drake continued to work on his music, determined to make a name for himself. In 2007, he released his second mixtape, Comeback Season. This project was a significant step up from his debut, both in terms of production quality and lyrical content. With Comeback Season, Drake began to refine his signature style, a unique blend of rapping and singing that allowed him to explore a range of emotions and themes in his music. The mixtape included the single Replacement Girl, which featured Trey songs and received some airplay on BET's 106 and Park, making Drake the first unsigned Canadian rapper to have a video featured on the show. Comeback Season marked a turning point in Drake's career. The mixtape started to generate buzz not just in Toronto, but in hip-hop circles across North America. Drake's ability to craft relatable lyrics, combined with his smooth delivery and melodic hooks, made him stand out in a crowded field of aspiring rappers. However, despite the growing recognition, Drake was still an independent artist, without the backing of a major record label. This meant he had to hustle harder than ever, balancing his dreams with the reality of being an unsigned artist in an industry dominated by big names and powerful labels. Drake's breakthrough came in 2009 with the release of his third mixtape, So Far Gone. This project was a game changer, catapulting Drake from a promising newcomer to a major force in the music industry. So Far Gone was a departure from the traditional mixtape format, featuring a cohesive sound and production quality that rivaled that of a studio album. The mixtape included hits like Best I Ever Had and Successful, which featured Trey songs and Lil Wayne. These tracks resonated with listeners, particularly for their honest and introspective lyrics, something that was becoming a hallmark of Drake's music. Best I Ever Had was the breakout single from So Far Gone. The track quickly became a summer anthem, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earning Drake widespread acclaim. The success of the single brought Drake to the attention of major labels, and suddenly, everyone wanted to sign him. But Drake wasn't just looking for a deal. He was looking for the right deal, one that would allow him to maintain creative control over his music and continue to grow as an artist. Around this time, Drake's connection with Lil Wayne became a pivotal factor in his career. Wayne, who was already an established superstar in the hip-hop world, took Drake under his wing, recognizing his talent and potential. Lil Wayne invited Drake to join him on his I Am Music tour, giving him the opportunity to perform in front of massive audiences and further solidify his presence in the industry. The relationship between Drake and Lil Wayne would go on to become one of the most important partnerships in Drake's career, with Wayne playing the role of mentor and collaborator. In June 2009, Drake made the official leap from mixtape sensation to major label artist when he signed with Lil Wayne's Young Money Entertainment, a subsidiary of Cash Money Records. The deal was a major coup, giving Drake the resources and platform he needed to reach a global audience while retaining the creative freedom he valued. With the backing of Young Money, Drake was poised to take his career to the next level. But even as he ascended to new heights, Drake remained grounded in the experiences that had shaped him. The themes of love, loss, and identity that permeated So Far Gone were drawn from his own life, from the challenges of growing up without a father figure to the pressures of living up to his own expectations. Drake's willingness to be vulnerable in his music, to share his struggles and fears, resonated with fans who saw themselves in his lyrics. This authenticity became one of Drake's defining qualities as an artist and helped him build a deep and lasting connection with his audience. The success of So Far Gone laid the foundation for Drake's debut studio album, Thank Me Later, which would be released in 2010. But before that, So Far Gone continued to make waves, earning Drake his first Grammy nomination and solidifying his reputation as one of the most exciting new voices in hip-hop. The mixtape's impact was undeniable, proving that Drake was more than just a former child actor. He was a legitimate artist with a voice and vision that were uniquely his own. By the end of 2009, Drake had gone from a relatively unknown rapper in Toronto to one of the most talked-about artists in the world. His journey from the small screen to the top of the charts was nothing short of remarkable, and it was clear that this was only the beginning of what would be an extraordinary career. By the time 2010 rolled around, Drake was no longer just a promising new artist. He was a phenomenon. His journey from Toronto's underground scene to the upper echelons of the music industry was nothing short of meteoric. After signing with Young Money Entertainment, the label helmed by hip-hop titan Lil Wayne, Drake was ready to take his career to the next level. The pressure was immense. After the success of his mixtape So Far Gone, expectations for his debut studio album were sky high. But if there was one thing Drake knew how to do, it was to deliver under pressure. Drake's relationship with Young Money was more than just a business arrangement. It was a partnership built on mutual respect and a shared vision for the future of hip-hop. Lil Wayne, who was at the peak of his career, saw something special in Drake. He recognized the young artist's potential to bring something fresh and unique to the table, blending rap with melodic hooks and introspective lyrics in a way that had not been done before on such a large scale. This blend of rapping and singing was becoming Drake's trademark, and it set him apart from his peers, many of whom were still adhering to the more traditional styles of hip-hop. The release of Drake's debut studio album, Thank Me Later, in June 2010, marked a pivotal moment in his career. The album was highly anticipated, and Drake did not disappoint. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling over 447,000 copies in its first week. Thank Me Later was an instant success, earning widespread critical acclaim and solidifying Drake's status as one of the most important voices in contemporary music. The album featured a star-studded lineup of guest appearances, including Alicia Keys, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, and of course, Lil Wayne, all of whom recognized Drake's rising star power. Thank Me Later was not just a commercial success, it was also a critical darling. The album's sound was both polished and innovative, blending elements of hip-hop, R&B, and pop in a way that felt both fresh and familiar. Tracks like Over, Find Your Love, and Miss Me became instant hits, dominating the airwaves and establishing Drake as a major player in the music industry. But beyond the catchy hooks and radio-friendly singles, Thank Me Later was a deeply personal album. Drake used his lyrics to explore themes of fame, love, and the internal conflicts that come with success. One of the standout tracks on the album was Over, a song that encapsulated Drake's feelings about his sudden rise to fame. The song's opening line, "I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year," spoke to the whirlwind of changes that had come into his life over the past few years. Drake was candid about the challenges that came with success, from the pressures of maintaining his image to the difficulty of staying true to himself in an industry that often values profit over authenticity. This introspective approach to songwriting resonated with fans, who appreciated Drake's willingness to be vulnerable and honest about his experiences. Another key track from the album was Find Your Love, a song that showcased Drake's ability to seamlessly blend singing and rapping. The track, produced by Kanye West, was a departure from the typical rap song, leaning heavily into R&B territory with its melodic hooks and emotive lyrics. Find Your Love became one of the biggest hits from Thank Me Later, reaching the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and further cementing Drake's reputation as an artist who could cross genre boundaries with ease. Drake's unique sound and approach to music were not without their critics. Some in the hip-hop community questioned whether his style, which often leaned towards the softer side of rap, was too soft for the genre. But Drake was undeterred by these criticisms. He understood that he was carving out a new space in the music world, one where vulnerability and emotion were not weaknesses, but strengths. He was redefining what it meant to be a hip-hop artist in the 21st century, and in doing so, he was opening doors for a new generation of artists who would follow in his footsteps. The success of Thank Me Later marked the beginning of Drake's reign over the music industry, but it was also a time of significant personal growth for the young artist. As his fame grew, so did the pressures and challenges that came with it. Drake was now a household name, with all the scrutiny and expectations that come with being in the public eye. He had to navigate the complexities of fame, from dealing with the media to managing his relationships with friends, family, and collaborators. Despite these challenges, Drake remained focused on his music, determined to prove that he was more than just a one-hit wonder. As Thank Me Later continued to dominate the charts, Drake began to think about his next move. He knew that in order to stay relevant and continue his ascent, he had to keep evolving as an artist. This meant not only honing his craft, but also expanding his influence beyond music. Drake began to explore other ventures, including acting, fashion, and business, all of which would later become integral parts of his brand. But at the core of everything he did was his music, the foundation upon which his empire was built. By the end of 2010, Drake had accomplished more in a few short years than most artists do in a lifetime. He had successfully transitioned from an actor on a Canadian teen drama to one of the most influential figures in the music industry. But despite his rapid rise to fame, Drake remained grounded in the experiences that had shaped him. He never forgot where he came from, and this connection to his roots continued to inform his music and his approach to life. Thank Me Later was more than just an album. It was a statement. It was Drake's declaration to the world that he was here to stay, that he was not just another rapper chasing fame and fortune, but an artist with something meaningful to say. And as the accolades and awards continued to roll in, it became clear that Drake was on a trajectory that would take him to even greater heights. With Thank Me Later solidifying his place in the music industry, Drake was faced with the challenge of maintaining his momentum. The world now had its eyes on the Toronto-born rapper, and everyone wondered how he would follow up his impressive debut. True to form, Drake did not disappoint. Rather than resting on his laurels, he used this period to push the boundaries of his sound and solidify his status as one of the most versatile artists in the game. Drake's second studio album, Take Care, released in 2011, was a critical and commercial triumph that demonstrated his growth as an artist. While Thank Me Later had established his presence, Take Care elevated him to a new level of artistry. The album showcased Drake's ability to blend various genres seamlessly, incorporating elements of hip-hop, R&B, and even dancehall, a testament to his diverse influences and willingness to experiment. Take Care was deeply introspective, with Drake delving into themes of love, heartbreak, fame, and the complexities of his relationships. The album's title track, featuring Rihanna, became one of its standout hits, highlighting the chemistry between the two artists. Their collaboration wasn't just about the music, it was also a reflection of their close relationship, which was the subject of much speculation and media attention. The song's melancholy tone and haunting melody captured the essence of Drake's music during this period, an exploration of the darker, more vulnerable sides of fame and love. Another key track from Take Care was Marvin's Room, a song that became an anthem for anyone who had ever experienced the loneliness that often accompanies late-night introspection. The song, which features a drunken phone call to an ex-lover, was a raw and honest portrayal of Drake's emotional state. Marvin's Room resonated with listeners around the world, not just for its lyrical content, but for the way Drake's voice conveyed a sense of longing and regret. It was a perfect example of how Drake's music could capture complex emotions and make them accessible to a broad audience. The album also featured contributions from The Weeknd, a fellow Toronto artist who was just beginning to make a name for himself. The Weeknd's moody, atmospheric sound was a perfect complement to Drake's introspective lyrics, and their collaborations on Take Care helped to define the sonic landscape of the album. Tracks like Crew Love and The Ride showcase their unique chemistry, blending The Weeknd's ethereal vocals with Drake's sharp, confessional style. Take Care was a defining moment in Drake's career, earning him his first Grammy Award for Best Rap Album and solidifying his place as one of the most innovative artists of his generation. But it was more than just a successful album. It was a statement of intent. With Take Care, Drake made it clear that he wasn't interested in following trends. He was setting them. His willingness to take risks, to explore new sounds and themes, set him apart from his peers and ensured that his music would stand the test of time. As Drake continued to ascend in the music world, he also began to establish himself as a collaborator of choice for other major artists. His ability to effortlessly adapt to different styles and genres made him a sought-after feature, and he quickly became known for his memorable guest verses. One of the most notable collaborations of this period was with the Atlanta rapper Future. Their joint mixtape, What a Time to Be Alive, released in 2015, was a massive success, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200. The project showcased the synergy between the two artists, blending Drake's melodic style with Future's trap-influenced sound. Drake's collaboration with Future wasn't just a one-off project. It was the beginning of a long-standing partnership that would yield multiple hits over the years. Songs like Jumpman and Big Rings became anthems, dominating the charts and the club scene alike. The success of What a Time to Be Alive further cemented Drake's reputation as an artist who could not only dominate on his own, but also elevate those around him. However, Drake's rise to the top wasn't without its challenges. As he continued to dominate the charts, he found himself embroiled in several high-profile feuds that would come to define much of his career. One of the most infamous was his feud with Philadelphia rapper Meek Mill. The beef began in 2015 when Meek Mill accused Drake of using ghostwriters, a serious accusation in the world of hip-hop, where authenticity is highly valued. Rather than ignoring the allegations, Drake responded swiftly with a series of diss tracks, including the now iconic Back to Back. The track was a masterclass in lyrical dissection, and it effectively silenced his critics, leaving Meek Mill scrambling to respond. Back to Back became more than just a diss track. It was a cultural moment. The song's impact was felt far beyond the world of hip-hop, and it even earned Drake a Grammy nomination. The feud with Meek Mill highlighted Drake's ability to defend his position in the rap game and solidified his reputation as a formidable competitor. While the beef eventually cooled down, it left a lasting mark on both artists' careers and served as a reminder that Drake was not to be underestimated. Another significant feud that would shape Drake's career was his long-standing rivalry with Pusha T. The tension between the two artists had been simmering for years, but it boiled over in 2018 with the release of Pusha T's track, The Story of Adidon. The song made headlines for its scathing accusations, including the revelation that Drake had a son he had not publicly acknowledged. The feud was one of the most intense in recent hip-hop history, and it forced Drake to confront some uncomfortable truths in the public eye. Despite the controversy, Drake managed to navigate the situation with his career intact, though the feud remains a contentious topic among fans and critics alike. Despite these challenges, Drake's ability to continuously reinvent himself and his music ensured that he remained at the forefront of the industry. His versatility as an artist, whether collaborating with others, experimenting with new sounds, or responding to his critics, allowed him to stay relevant in a rapidly changing music landscape. As Drake moved into the next phase of his career, it was clear that he was more than just a rapper. He was a cultural icon whose influence extended far beyond the world of music. As Drake's music career soared to new heights, he began to expand his influence beyond the studio and the stage. Recognizing that his brand was becoming a powerful force, Drake ventured into various business endeavors that further solidified his status as not just a musician, but a global entrepreneur and cultural icon. One of Drake's most successful ventures has been his clothing brand, OVO, October's very own. What started as a simple moniker, referencing his October birth date, quickly evolved into a full-fledged lifestyle brand. OVO's signature owl logo became synonymous with Drake's image, representing both his personal style and his musical empire. The brand, which includes clothing, accessories, and a record label, has grown into a cultural phenomenon, with fans eagerly purchasing anything bearing the OVO insignia. The brand's success is a testament to Drake's ability to leverage his influence in the fashion world, seamlessly blending streetwear with high fashion to create a unique and highly sought-after aesthetic. OVO's growth was fueled by strategic partnerships and collaborations, most notably with major sportswear brands like Nike. In 2013, Drake signed a deal with Nike's Jordan brand, launching a series of highly coveted OVOX Air Jordan sneakers. These limited edition releases became instant sellouts, further cementing Drake's reputation as a tastemaker in both music and fashion. The partnership was more than just a business move. It was a reflection of Drake's ability to tap into the cultural zeitgeist, creating products that resonated with fans across the globe. Beyond fashion, Drake also made significant strides in the world of television and film. He co-founded Dream Crew, a production company that has produced critically acclaimed television shows such as Euphoria on HBO, where Drake serves as an executive producer. Euphoria, a gritty and raw depiction of teenage life, quickly became a cultural touchstone, praised for its unflinching portrayal of issues like addiction, identity, and mental health. Drake's involvement in the show highlighted his commitment to telling stories that resonate with today's youth, further expanding his influence in the entertainment industry. Drake's impact on hip-hop culture cannot be overstated. As one of the genre's leading figures, he played a pivotal role in bringing the Toronto music scene to the forefront of the global stage. Before Drake, Toronto was not widely recognized as a hub for hip-hop, but his success opened doors for countless other artists from the city, helping to establish the Six as a major player in the music industry. Artists like The Weeknd, Party Next Door, and Tory Lanez, all of whom have ties to Drake, have benefited from the spotlight he helped shine on Toronto. Drake's influence extended beyond just music. He also helped shape the sound and style of modern hip-hop. His blend of introspective lyrics, melodic flows, and genre-bending production has become a blueprint for many of today's artists. The term Drake effect was coined to describe how his success has influenced the sound of contemporary hip-hop, with many artists adopting a similar approach to their music. This shift towards more emotive, introspective content has redefined the genre, breaking down barriers between hip-hop and other musical styles like R&B and pop. However, with great influence comes great scrutiny, and Drake has not been immune to controversy. One of the most significant criticisms he has faced is the accusation of cultural appropriation. Over the years, Drake has incorporated elements of various cultures into his music, including Jamaican dancehall, British grime, and African Afrobeat. While some praise his ability to blend these influences into his unique sound, others argue that he is exploiting these cultures for commercial gain without fully crediting their origins. The debate around cultural appropriation came to a head with the release of Drake's 2016 album Views, which heavily featured dancehall-inspired tracks like Controlla and One Dance. Critics accused Drake of co-opting Jamaican culture without fully engaging with it, pointing out that while he was profiting from the sound, local dancehall artists were not receiving the same level of attention or financial success. Drake defended his work by emphasizing his genuine love and respect for the cultures he draws from, but the controversy highlighted the complex dynamics of global music in the digital age. Another significant controversy in Drake's career involved allegations of ghostwriting. In 2015, during his highly publicized feud with Meek Mill, the Philadelphia rapper accused Drake of not writing all of his own lyrics, suggesting that he used ghostwriters to craft some of his biggest hits. The accusation struck at the core of hip-hop's values, where authenticity and lyrical prowess are paramount. While Drake has always maintained that he writes his own material, the allegations sparked a broader conversation about the role of collaboration in the music industry and the blurred lines between ghostwriting and co-writing. Despite these controversies, Drake's ability to navigate criticism and continue to evolve as an artist has kept him at the top of the music industry. His response to the ghostwriting allegations was swift and effective. He released a series of diss tracks, including Charged Up and Back to Back, which not only defended his reputation but also became hits in their own right. The success of these tracks demonstrated Drake's resilience and his ability to turn a potentially damaging situation into an opportunity for creative expression. As Drake's influence continued to grow, so did his philanthropic efforts. He has used his platform to give back to communities in need, particularly in his hometown of Toronto. In 2018, Drake made headlines with the release of the music video for God's Plan, which featured him giving away nearly $1 million to individuals and organizations in Miami. The video, which showed Drake paying for groceries, college scholarships, and other acts of kindness, went viral and highlighted his commitment to using his wealth and influence for positive change. Drake's business ventures, cultural impact, and ability to weather controversy have solidified his status as one of the most influential artists of his generation. As he continues to evolve, both as an artist and an entrepreneur, Drake's legacy will undoubtedly be defined not just by his music, but by the many ways he has shaped the culture around him. As Drake continues to dominate the music scene, his legacy is already cemented as one of the most influential artists of his generation. But what makes his legacy particularly compelling is not just his chart-topping hits or his innovative approach to music. It's the way he has reshaped the landscape of hip-hop and inspired a new generation of artists. One of Drake's most significant contributions to the music industry is his role as a mentor and influencer to emerging artists. Through his label, OVO Sound, which he co-founded with his longtime collaborator Noah 40 Shabib, Drake has provided a platform for new talent to flourish. Artists like Party Next Door, Majid Jordan, and Roy Woods have all benefited from the exposure and support that comes with being associated with OVO. Drake's willingness to share the spotlight with these rising stars is a testament to his belief in the importance of fostering new talent and ensuring that the future of music is in good hands. Drake's influence extends far beyond the artists he directly works with. His style, characterized by its introspective lyrics, melodic flows, and seamless blending of genres, has become a blueprint for many of today's young artists. The Drake effect can be seen in the music of numerous contemporary rappers and singers who have adopted his approach to storytelling and emotional expression. Artists like Post Malone, Travis Scott, and Juice WRLD have all drawn inspiration from Drake's ability to craft songs that resonate on both a personal and universal level. Drake's impact is not limited to just his musical peers. He has also influenced the broader culture. His use of social media, particularly Instagram and Twitter, has set new standards for how artists engage with their fans. Drake has mastered the art of creating moments. Whether it's through surprise album drops, viral dance challenges like the one inspired by In My Feelings, or his infamous Hotline Bling music video, which became a meme sensation. These cultural moments have kept Drake at the center of the conversation, ensuring that his presence is felt far beyond the confines of the music industry. As Drake's career has progressed, he has also taken steps to secure his legacy beyond music. His ventures into fashion, television, and business have demonstrated his versatility and his desire to leave a lasting impact in various fields. But at the core of everything he does is his music, a passion that has driven him from his early days in Toronto to the global stage. Despite his many achievements, Drake remains committed to his craft, constantly pushing the boundaries of what is possible in music. Looking forward, it's clear that Drake's influence will continue to be felt for years to come. As he evolves as an artist and businessman, there are several potential paths his career could take. One possibility is that Drake will continue to expand his empire, leveraging his success in music to explore new ventures in film, television, and fashion. His involvement in projects like Euphoria suggests that he has a keen interest in storytelling and media production, and it wouldn't be surprising to see him take on more roles behind the camera. Drake's influence on the next generation of artists will also likely continue to grow. As he nurtures new talent through OVO Sound and other ventures, Drake's legacy as a mentor and tastemaker will solidify. His ability to spot and develop talent, combined with his deep understanding of the music industry, positions him as a key figure in shaping the future of hip-hop and beyond. Another potential direction for Drake's career is a return to his acting roots. While he has made a name for himself as a rapper and singer, Drake's early success on Degrassi, The Next Generation, suggests that he has the skills to succeed in the world of acting as well. Whether it's through starring in films or producing and directing projects, Drake has the potential to make a significant impact in Hollywood. In terms of his music, it's likely that Drake will continue to experiment with new sounds and styles. His willingness to take risks and push the envelope has been a hallmark of his career, and there's no reason to believe that will change. As trends in music continue to evolve, Drake will undoubtedly find ways to stay ahead of the curve, whether that means exploring new genres, collaborating with different artists, or finding innovative ways to connect with his audience. One thing is certain: Drake's influence on music and culture will endure long after he steps away from the spotlight. His ability to consistently reinvent himself, coupled with his dedication to his craft, ensures that his legacy will be one of lasting significance. As new generations of artists emerge, they will undoubtedly look to Drake as a source of inspiration, much like he did with the artists who came before him. Drake's story is one of resilience, creativity, and unwavering ambition. From his humble beginnings in Toronto to his status as a global icon, he has defied the odds and shattered expectations at every turn. His journey serves as a powerful reminder that with talent, determination, and a willingness to take risks, anything is possible. As we look to the future, it's exciting to imagine what Drake will accomplish next. Whether he continues to dominate the music charts, expands his influence in other industries, or takes on entirely new challenges, one thing is clear: Drake's story is far from over. He has already left an indelible mark on the world, and whatever comes next, it's sure to be just as groundbreaking as everything he has done so far.